Sure, yeah.
No, I hear it.
Yeah, I hear it. Okay.
Got it. No, I totally get it.
Recording in
morning.
progress.
Good morning. Calling to order the Insurance Benefits and Legislative Committee for Wednesday, March 1st. We will begin. Item 2 is the procedure for teleconference meeting attendance under AB 2449, California Government Code Section 54953F. There's a memo dated February 23rd.
We received no requests.
No requests? Good. All right.
I need to do the roll call.
Okay.
This meeting is being conducted virtually and in person, so I will do a roll call of the trustees to confirm attendance. Trustees Robbins, Oakham, and Green will not be with us today. Mr. Knox,
Good morning, I'm here.
Mr. Santos,
Here.
Ms. Gray,
Present.
Mr. Bernstein,
Here.
Mr. Sanchez,
Here.
Ms. Greenwood, Mr. Kehoe,
Present.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Staff participating in the meeting includes CEO Santos Kryman, Deputy CEO Louis Lugo, AEOs JJ Popowich and Laura Guglielmo, Chief Counsel Stephen Rice, Legislative Affairs Officer Barry Liu, from Retiree Healthcare, Cassandra Smith, Director, and Kathy Magida, consultants Stephen Murphy, Michael Zito from Siegel, Tony Rhoda from Williams and Jensen, Sherry McHugh and Naomi Padron from McHugh, Kupke and Associates. Trustees, please use the raise your hand Zoom option to be placed in queue. At this time, we ask all meeting participants to mute your mics until you are ready to speak, and we may now proceed with the agenda.
Good morning. Let's go to item 3, approval of the minutes.
Move approval.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All right.
So I'll make the motion. I'll need it. Do you want a second?
Does Mr. Harris need to be appointed to do the?
It's okay, we'll take care.
Probably because I'm the alternate.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So it's been moved and
Who
seconded.
seconded it?
Who seconded? I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Oh, you have to call roll.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
Vice Chair Gray.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously with all trustees present.
Great. Moving on to public comment. Have we gotten any requests?
I have no requests.
All right, moving on to item 5, non-consent items. First one is the selection of federal and state legislative advocates. There's a recommendation by Barry Liu, Legislative Officer, that the committee recommend that the Board of Retirement first approve the engagement of Williams, Jensen, and Doucet Consulting Solutions as LACERA's federal legislative advocates. And secondly, approve the engagement of McHugh, Kupke and Associates as LACERA's state legislative advocate. There's a memo dated February 15th, 2023. Is there a motion?
I'll move the item.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded.
I'll
Well-
just say appreciation to everybody on the selection committee and all the feedback. The report was excellent and glad to be moving forward with this.
Great. Right. Roll call?
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
Vice Chair Gray.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously with all trustees present.
Thank you. Moving on to item 6, our engagement report for February 2023. Barry Lou, it's for information only. Are there any questions or is Barry present?
Yes, I'm
Barry, do you
here.
want to give a report?
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair Gray and committee trustees, and thank you again for moving the prior item. So this month, just a couple of items for your interest. First one is in CPERS does an annual public retirement system study. So they look at this year, they looked at 195 state and local government pension plans. That cover over 19 million members and assets exceeding 3 trillion. So this is a big picture view of what's happening with state and local plans. And so as you can see, the 1-year return and funded levels have increased slightly compared to last year. And then also, as we have seen over the years, the assumed rate of return has slowly been, ratcheting down. It's now 6.86% compared to an average 7.07% from last year. At the same time, the average expenses to administer the funds as well as pay investment fees was 64 basis points compared to 54 basis points from the prior year. And the average cost of living that these plans are giving is 2%, which is in line with most of the plans that we have here at LACERA. The next item is interesting in that TIAA did a survey about how life expectancy knowledge influences retirement choices. So they asked an interesting question about longevity literacy, which is that, if you're age 60, how much longer would you expect to live? And so the answers for men was that the answer is 22 years, which would mean, up to age 82. And then for women, the answer was 25 years, which meant up to age 85. So, the women answered this question correctly more than the men did. And what this suggests is that even though men may have slightly better, say, general financial literacy, women seem to have a better longevity literacy. And this may be related to sort of that division of labor where, women tend to make the healthcare decisions in the household more than men do. The survey also found that those who either correctly answered or overestimated their life expectancy tend to have higher confidence and satisfaction in their retirement. And they will also engage in retirement preparation behaviors compared to those who kind of underestimate their life expectancy. The third item is about the North Carolina, just an interesting pension spiking case there. So North Carolina adopted a benefit cap so that if somebody's last salary with their last employer increase by, say, a substantial amount, what their state law asks is that last employer put in additional contributions to pay for that increased benefit. So they seem to be looking at maybe what's an expected increase in the final compensation versus this higher what they would deem as a spiking salary. So right now they're in litigation with some school boards that are arguing that they shouldn't be going paying this amount. And so it's kind of interesting that instead of maybe limiting certain pay items, what they're doing is looking at the increase, and if that's what they consider an unreasonable increase, then is asking for more contributions. And then lastly, interesting thing out of Alaska, they seem to be following a trend of other states right now, which everybody in the private sector and public sector are challenged with hiring. So what Alaska is doing is dropping the college degree requirement for a lot of plans. So the governor is directing its Department of Administration to review job descriptions and then determine whether practical experience can be used in lieu of a 4-year degree. So as you can see, they've struggled to hire government employees. In 2014, they have like over 27,000 employees, but now that's plummeted to 21,000 employees. So that concludes my report. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you so much. Okay, next we have our staff activities report for February 2023. Cassandra Smith.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Chair, members of the committee. Only one thing to report this month. We've started our application process for the 23-24 retiree drug subsidy participation. We've submitted the applications for Anthem, Cigna, Kaiser, and Local 1014. For those trustees that are new on board, the Retiree Drug Subsidy Program is a federal program in which we participate and have been participating in since 2005, 2006, when it first started. This program was enacted to reimburse plan sponsors for a portion of their qualifying covered retiree costs for the prescription drugs that contribute to our drug costs. Each qualifying covered retiree enrolled in a qualifying medical plan, we can receive up to 28% cost between the threshold and limit that's set forth by the federal government. To qualify for this, we must show that we have a coverage that is equivalent to or better than what is being offered through the federal Medicare program. And so we do this on an annual basis. We submit an application to continue our participation. And with that, that's it.
Great, thank you. Okay, item C, our LACERA claims experience. Michael Zito from Siegel Consulting.
Hello. On the first page contains the premium and enrollment by medical, dental, and vision plans. There's been minimal change compared to the prior month. On the second page contains the claims experienced by carrier. The year-over-year trend for Anthem decreased from 10.1% to 6.8% when compared to the prior month's report. Cigna's year-over-year trend decreased from 13.2% to 9.7% when compared to the prior month's report. On the next page, you have Anthem claims experience by plan. On an aggregate basis, the year-over-year trend decreased from 8.6% to 7.0% when compared to the prior month's report. And the Kaiser utilization page was unchanged from the prior month's report. For the high cost claimer page, the Anthem decreased from 300% to 150% when compared to the prior month's report. Notably, the number of claimants increased by 6 individuals when compared to the prior period. The aggregate claims increased by $4.2 million when compared to the prior period. And Cigna's year-over-year trend decreased from 22.1% to 10.6% when compared to the prior month's report. The prescription drug slide remains unchanged compared from the prior report. And on the dental and vision claims experience, the dental claims trend year over year increased from 7.4% to 8.1% when compared to the prior month's report. The vision claims year over year trend decreased from 0.4% to 1.3% when compared to the prior month's report. Any questions?
All right, thank you. Federal legislation, item D, Steve Murphy from Siegel.
Good morning, trustees. Just one quick update. The public health emergency related to the COVID-19 pandemic will end on May 11th. The biggest impact to LACERA and its members is during the pandemic, and a lot of changes were made to improve access to care and immediacy to care. So as an example, members that were being treated for COVID many times did not have an out-of-pocket expense. So those types of things will likely change, but every vendor is different, and how Medicare and non-Medicare members will be treated will be different. So we're working with your current vendor partners to summarize that and create an inventory so that both staff and the board have a good sense of what those changes are going to be so that they can communicate effectively with members.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Thank you, Stephen. All right, item 7, are there any items for staff review?
I have nothing.
Item 8, any suggestions for future agendas?
I have nothing.
Mr. Harris says nothing. Thank you. All right, is there anything for good of the order? We want to save it for our meeting. Yes? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned. Thank you. And Bonnie, what time for our regular meeting? 9 a.m. Thank you. Alan, can you pass this to me?